Hello Hendrickson and welcome to our maths lesson today. Now, before we do anything, I have noticed something on tapestry and I'd just like to go through it with you. So, lots of you have been doing a fantastic job of using your 10 frame, just like this, and you've been filling it up. However, one thing that I'd like you to practice doing, which will help you counting earlier, is if you've got two colours, like Mr. Gear's got here, and you see he's got red ones and he's got blue ones. He's filled up the 10 frame, but what I've done is I've mixed up all the colours. Now that makes it tricky later on to do our counting. So if you're like this and you put them in a pattern like this, what I'd like you to practice doing is putting all the same colours together. So for example, I'll put all the blue ones down this end, like this, and all the red ones down this end like this. This now makes it a lot easier for me to count. Okay, so that's what I've noticed on tapestry and I'd like to practice that to start off with. Now on to today's lesson. Last week we started by counting up to 10. Now this week we're going to do exactly the same, but when we get to 10, we're then also going to practice counting down, back down to 0. I'll show you how to do it. Let's do it on our fingers. Get those fingers ready. Here we go. We start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we go down again. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Fantastic work. If you found that tricky, don't worry. Keep practicing. You can play that part of the video over and over again for you to practice. Now for today's lesson, I'm going to get rid of my counters because I'm not going to need those today. There we go. Today's lesson, we are going to be comparing quantities. Comparing quantities. Now, we've done this before a little bit. This means getting two groups and saying which one has more. Now, more means it's a bigger group, okay? So one group has more and the other group will have, can you remember what the word is? Yeah, it's fewer, which means it's a smaller group than the big group, okay? Now, there's also a word, if two groups are the same, who can remember what the word is? Yeah, you're right, it is equal. What is it? Equal. Fantastic. And we're going to be using those three words today to describe two groups. More, fewer, and equal, if they are the same. So, for today, you are going to need 10 frame. Now you're not just going to need one 10 frame, so you might have to draw one out. You're going to need 2 10 frames. Okay, there was only one in your pack, so you might have to draw one. So you're going to need 2 10 frames, and I will put them out like this. Let me get rid of that. Out of the way. I put them separately on either side like this. Now I've got this handly bit in the middle to help me. And then, what you're going to need today is you're going to need 2 piles of 10 objects. Now the objects should be the same. If you can't find anything that you've got 10 of that's the same, then you can do it using the same pile twice. It might just be a little bit trickier, okay, because you're going to have to remember or take a picture of your 10 frame afterwards. Now these objects should be big enough so that you can't pick all of them up with one hand, okay? So I have chosen some pegs. So I need 2 piles of 10. So can you help me count to 10? Here we go. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. There's one pile of 10. Now I need to do the same on this side. Help me count again. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There we go. I've got 2 piles of 10. we're going to do is, you can either do this twice yourself, or you can do it once you, and you ask somebody else in your family to do the other pile. And all we're going to do is we're going to use one hand. So you need to put one hand behind your back and get the other hand. I would like to see how many you can pick up with one hand. Let's see how Mr. Gear does. Ready? There we go. So this is how many I picked up. So I'll move the others out of the way, and then I'm going to put these in the 10 frame. Now last week we practiced the 2 different ways of using the 10 frame. I don't mind which way you use, okay? Whichever way is best for you. But it might be useful to use the same way both times. So I like to do it this way. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There we go. I've got 6 pegs on this side. So I've got 6 there. Now it's the time to do this pile. Now, like I said, you can either do it yourself again, or you can ask somebody else if they can see how many they can pick up. I'm going to do it myself, and I'm going to use my other hand this time. So I'll put this hand behind my back. Right, here we go. Ready? There we go. I'll move that one out of the way. Let's see how many I picked up with this hand. Okay? 2. There we go. So this hand picked up this many. This hand picked up this many. Can you have a look? Which side has more? Can you point to the side that has more? Is it this side? No. This side has more. So you can say, this side has more. Even better. This side has more pegs than this side. Fantastic. And this side has fewer pegs. Fewer pegs. And so this side has more pegs than this side. This side has fewer pegs than this side. So that is what I'd like you to do today. Now, how about if I were to pick up like that? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What can you tell me? Yeah. They are both equal, which means they are the same. But I didn't actually do that, did I? I cheated a little bit. Let's move that back. There we go. So, here is your challenge today. Count out 10 objects. Okay? And using one hand, pick up however many you can and put them in the 10 frame. And then either do it the same yourself or ask somebody else to do it. What you could do if you don't have 10 objects, take a picture of this, and then when you do it the next time, you can have a look at that picture to help you compare. Okay? So the first thing is, I'd like you to use the words more or fewer to describe the 2 piles you made. The second thing I'd like you to do is I'd like you to say that, but in a full sentence. Okay? So we practiced those a minute ago. The third thing I'd like you to try and do is, if that was too easy, I would like you to make another 10 frame and get another pile of 10 and do it 3 times. And then use your sentences to describe them. For example, you might say that this 10 frame has more than this 10 frame, but fewer than the other one if it has more. But that is a challenge for you. Now, don't forget to put it up on Tapestry. And parents, a quick note for you. When you're putting the things up on Tapestry, please can you let us know how your child found this activity. This will help us plan future activities of this sort. Thank you and good luck.